Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You were listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libations.
Feel it, feel it.
We are Artistic Bus talking about Disney stuff, and this is the show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. For this show, we go on a quest for the best 3D attraction. And look, this is your typical polished practice Pixie Dust and Disney podcast. No way. We're not in the parks every day trying to tell you if they did anything for Easter Sunday.
That's right, Kev. We're here to drink, talk some Disney, and tell you who has the best Disney 3D movie attraction.
That's right. So all you guys have to do is listen up while we do our thing and just drink it up.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Rachel.
So guys, how was your Easter weekend? Or week, or whatever you did before or after?
Well, I did great. My father-in-law came in town. I was totally prepared.
That must have been fun.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I stocked up on holy water. I sharpened my steaks. Bought some hang garlic around the house. Yeah, crucifixes everywhere. It was wonderful.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but don't invite a father-in-law into your house because you lose all power. Just want to say.
Oh.
Wow. Interesting.
Oh, man.
Insight. Lovely.
Yeah, it's never a dull moment over here. This
I
man's
know,
house.
especially when he comes to town.
No, pray
I'm
for me.
serious.
Seriously.
Yeah.
We did, and we'll be doing. And so on and so
Yes.
forth. I can tell you, I just played a bunch of Easter gigs, so that's all it was. It's a lot of church stuff. No big whoop. But the kids had fun.
We did, your typical egg hunt. So we do like the little candy Cadbury, the tiny ones, the mini eggs, like kind of all over the place in the house, and the kids find them. And we have to announce that we're going to evenly distribute the eggs after it's all over, because otherwise they will get violent.
Oh, wow. Oh, dang.
To like try to get the most, you know what I mean? Like pull each other back, and we have to redistribute. It's a very, socialist situation. We redistribute the wealth afterwards.
I was going to ask if that was because of the national eggs shortage, but no, it's because your kids will slit a throat over.
They're intense. Yeah, they're intense. So
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
it gets competitive if we let it, so we don't.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we did that. I was excited to kind of like put together the Easter baskets and all that good stuff, so it was nice.
Yeah. Eli, did you do anything fun?
Oh, I hung out by my dad and his
Oh, you remember you told me you and Jennifer Love Hewitt got it on over the weekend, and
Yes, and
Eli Love Hewitt?
I do. Actually, our eyes met a long time ago at a
Oh, really?
convention on the rooftop. Yes.
Lovely.
Right.
Oh.
But that's a true story. That part that's a true story.
Oh, that's-
yeah.
well, you weren't kidding.
I'm not
Oh.
kidding about that.
I don't think I've heard anyone mention Jennifer Love Hewitt in a solid decade.
oh, go a week talking to this guy every weekend with Jennifer Love Hewitt this, Jennifer Love
Oh
Hewitt
yeah,
that.
I'm watching the episodes of the Ghost Whisperer just to make sure she gets some extra income from the residuals. Like I'm a
Well, that
supporter.
is very sweet of you.
I still have to hear about how they caught eyes once at San Diego
On top
Comic
of
Con.
the
God, yeah.
That's
And-
interesting. I don't think the listeners know this story. But
No, I don't share too many like comic book convention stories, but yes, that's a true thing. That
oh,
looked at, I was
tease.
like, yeah,
Intrigue.
that's it.
Now I want to know. But anyway, yeah. So guys, look, enough about jibber jabber.
What the hell? That's it. That's.
I don't know where you go from there.
Hey, people, just do it, thing.
I don't know. Bring it back to Disney somehow.
All right, let's go talk about some Disney.
There you go.
Anyway, guys, look, enough about jibber jabber. Let's go on a quest. Welcome to the hub, our main topic segment of the show. And as I mentioned at the top, we were going on the quest for the best.
That's right.
Yes, you heard that right. It's been a while since we've done this. And so what we're questing for the best in is 3D movie attractions. Or 4D movie attractions, as it were.
If you will.
Yes. So we put each one through a series of criteria, and we rank them in this exercise. This is a little bit different if you heard the Theming Wars one where we assign a point. This one, we actually rank them, 1, 2, and 3. And there's 3 3D movies that we'll be questing for. That is MuppetVision 3D, It's Tough to Be a Bug, and Mickey's Philharmagic. So each one will get some kind of rank, 1, 2, or 3, depending on how we feel about each of these categories against which they'll be ranked.
So how's the scoring system going to work, though?
So it's going to be just like golf, all right? So usually with golf, the least amount of strokes it takes for you to get the ball in the hole is the winner, right? So in this case, since we're ranking number 1, 2, and 3, just to not mess with the definitions of what our top ranked stuff is, that's how we'll do it. Winner is going to have the least amount of points out of all of them. And of course, the third place will be the most amount of points. Yeah, so that's how this exercise works. The categories that I was mentioning that we're going to do these against are as follows. There's 5 of them. It's just like the theming works, but here it is. It's the cue, the theming and immersion, the overall experience, the story, and lastly, repeatability. And that's how we'll do it. And I crafted this nice little score sheet here to kind of keep track of points, both each category to see who does well in each of the categories, and then the overall as well to see who the winner would be. So everybody cool with the rules? Everybody remember how this works?
Yeah, it's coming back to me.
Been a little while.
Yeah.
So the first category we're looking at is the cue. Scene 1. You got to start the attraction somewhere. And so we're going to rank 1, 2, and 3. Who does the better job all the way to, who does the third best job? And then the person in the middle. I mean, Danny, did you want to rock it?
Sure.
First? Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. So you could start with the third one to the first. I don't care. Let me know what
I'll
you
do
want
that.
to do.
Okay. To me, Philharmagic is an easy last place finisher here. Best thing about the queue is the air conditioning.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But the remaining 2 are a little harder. And just to spend a second more on Philharmagic, I guess, it's just kind of plain. It's ordinary. You're inside. It's air conditioned. Posters on the wall. It's about it. Nothing really too much beyond that. So it's nothing that really makes it stand out. It doesn't suck. Like I said, air conditioning and
Space to
Magic
sit.
Kingdom heat, yes. But the other 2 were a little bit more, they had a little bit more to their queue. Second, I went with It's Tough to Be a Bug because it offers just amazing views of the Tree of Life. It's pretty cool the way they subliminally shrink you down to bug size. And I love the posters that they do, the circus-style posters for the coming acts, advertising, the
those are
bugs that you're about to see, as well as the theater posters on the inside of the little lobby area that's kind of hollowed out where you see the cockroach line, website story, all that kind of cool wordplay. However, MuppetVision 3D has all of that and then some. They have the posters, the piping has all been Muppetized, similar to what Jim and the guys did over at 30 Rock for the Jack Parr show where they took the piping and they just drew faces and everything on it. My favorite is that bent blue piping out that they made to look like Gonzo's nose by drawing a little chalk Gonzo on there. Key under the mat gag by the front desk, the directories, great, the net full of Jell-O, obviously, Tutti Fruttis. I mean, if I listed them all, we'd be here all day. But the real gem is the pre-show. The pre-show video is just about every bit as entertaining as the actual show itself, I would say. It's got to be the best pre-show video in all of Walt Disney World, I would think. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would say that's better than that. Maybe that's a future topic for another day.
Yeah.
I can't think of another pre-show video better than MuppetVision 3D. It just sets the tone for what you're going to see. It puts you in the exact mindset you need to be in for MuppetVision 3D. And so for all those reasons, I chose that as my number 1 cue. Tough to Be a Bug second and Philharmagic third.
Yeah, nice. I'm just going to go ahead and say I did the same kind of rankings, although I'll be honest, MuppetVision and Tough to Be a Bug were kind of tough for a second.
It is.
And I would say this could be part of the Scene 1 thing. With MuppetVision, see, when you go out of the theater, it also sets you up for Muppet-like stuff.
Yes.
From the fountain to like the pipes you set outside, the coloring and all that stuff and those stuff. Tough to Be Bug, it's still Animal Kingdom, and you don't really start to get a sense of that until you actually start getting into the queue. So that's what kind of separated it for me. I had to find something because I do like both queues. I even like the music
100%.
for Tough to Be a Bug, where they have all those different types of tunes, but the bugs they're doing bug sounds or make it. You hear like Beauty and the Beast, you hear like all kind of Broadway show tunes and just stuff, but it's all bugs singing it.
Yeah.
And so it's a trip. So MuppetVision 1 for me, Tough to Be Bug 2. Mickey's Philharmagic, I mean, it's pretty plain.
Yeah.
It's set up, I guess, like a movie theater kind of thing where it's not terribly, I don't know, modern movie theaters aren't terribly exciting to begin with. And so this kind of fits the bill, It's you have some posters on the wall, but it's a typical queue inside.
Yeah.
Air conditioning's great though.
100%. But I mean, you could have had like a fake concession stand that was run by Goofy or something
Or
like
a real
that.
one would have been great.
Oh, that would have been nice too. Yeah,
You walk
Probably
through a
make some more
shower
money,
of popcorn when you guys that'd be a trip.
Yeah, but they could have put a little bit more effort into that queue.
Yeah. So that's me. 1, 2, and 3. Who next?
Yeah, I would say I would go on the same route. Like
yeah?
you said, there's not much to Philharmagic as far as the queue's concerned. I mean, we've already covered that. It's just a
There's no
area.
duck butt in the queue, so
No.
that would have put it ahead. I'm sure.
There's nothing that's like, come here or like you said, live character or nothing interactive. I mean, it's just a space you just lay down until the show starts. And same thing with Tough to Be a Bug. I made that second as well. That was had a little more to it, but I think, like y'all said, Muppets is pretty good because it's what you're gonna see, it's what you're gonna get. And I mean, the Mickey Mouse gag always gets me out.
Hello, welcome to my pod.
Yeah, that's
What do
just
they
funny.
know? They're tourists.
I always like the Max thing.
Whatever her name.
Whatever her name was sick, so the union sent me.
Debbie was
That's
sick.
hilarious.
Debbie was sick, so the
union sent me.
The way Fozzie repeats that is like, I always like the whole, hey, wait. I said penguins, not chickens. Why is this chicken here? Why did this chicken cross the road? That's funny.
Well, you know what's cool about it is how they have the 3 TV sync.
Oh, yeah.
The groups of 3. That's really neat.
They're all synced up, and it leads to some great gags. No, that video is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like I said,
that should be a good show.
I challenge y'all to come up with a better pre-show video than that.
I had the same rankings too. I was kind of torn between MuppetVision and Tough to Be a Bug, mostly because I love the Tree of Life.
Same here.
Yeah. No.
And just like getting real close to it and going in there is so cool. And so I wanted to give it to Tough to Be a Bug. But the last time I did that show, that whole area was like swampy hut, smelly, terrible, like gross. It was so gross. It smelled so bad in there.
Ooh.
And MuppetVision has never smelled bad, so I had to give it to MuppetVision.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I like that. I like that criteria.
That swamp musk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get all your clothes.
I mean, I guess, listen, if you're a bug, you're like crawling through dirt and like who knows what. So I suppose it's accurate, but it's gross.
They could have been pumping in that smell.
Yeah.
The smell and serve nothing but that, huh?
Yeah.
Let it free.
Cool. All right. So there we go. There's the queue.
Right.
And as you can probably tell, MuppetVision 3D is in the lead. Straight across the board. So we all had equal rankings, and it's 4, 8, 12 with MuppetVision at 4. So there we go.
Okay.
So now we go on to theming and immersion. How well do these attractions lay out their theming, and how well does that theming immerse you into the whole thing that you're about to experience?
So this is a really tough one. The previous one was easy when it came to Philharmagic. Tough to Be a Bug, MuppetVision 3D. This one was a lot tougher across all 3 because I love all 3. I think they all do a terrific job of immersing you into the story you're experiencing. So finding one that's better than the other requires an enormous amount of nitpicking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's what I would say. Philharmagic is great. Like we discussed, the queue is weak, but the theater is nice. The way the screen expands without you even noticing it, surrounding you and immersing you into the story is just amazing. However, there's nothing really all that special about the environment. It's a theater. That's about it. The immersion and theming really come from what you experience through the film and the effects, which all 3 do very well. So I'm going to put that one last. MuppetVision 3D to me is absolutely amazing. I remember the amazement I felt as a kid, first time I saw it. I thought we were going on a ride through Muppet Labs, the way the story had kind of been set up. And next thing I know, I'm walked smack dab into the Muppet theater, and I'm looking all around like, oh my God, I didn't expect to see this. And I'm seeing it from all the angles. Like on TV, you just saw it straight on, or when you saw the crowd, but you never really, like, noticing the left-hand side of the theater and noticing that there would be a box similar to what Statler and Waldorf sat in. That there were 2 boxes. And like, oh my God, look at that. That's cool. That's what the back looks like. There's carpeting in here. Like, I was absorbed. Look at the statues of Miss Piggy. It was really, really cool. So I love the Muppet Theater, but again, we're nitpicking. So while it accomplishes making you feel like you're in the Muppet Theater, once the show started, I'm like, I'm not even watching a Muppet show. It's like, there's no Muppet show happening in this theater. The Muppets are somewhere else in the building taking us on a tour of Muppets Labs. And then eventually we cut to the performances that I guess are supposed to be happening live on stage in front of us, but hard to be sure. And Also, there's a little bit too much Waldo and Bean Bunny for my taste. Yeah, I wanted to see more of the Muppets I know. Like, where was Scooter, Ralph, or the Electric Mayhem? Like, those are the people.
Yeah, the Penguin Orchestra.
Yeah, it's cool, but all the Bean Bunny and I'm Waldo, the spirit of 3D. Like, it's hard to be immersed when you're like, why do they keep showing this annoying? So, all that said, I'm giving it to It's Tough to Be a Bug, because that show just seems to hit on all cylinders for me. It starts when you're winding through the tree of life, and then you're going more and more down, like it's like you're burrowing below ground until you're
below the tree,
yeah, and everything's getting bigger, and so it feels like you're shrinking down until you end up in this tree that opens up, and there's all these tangled branches and roots, and I mean, you feel like you're in this hollowed out tree, and the lobby does a great job of hammering that home as well to me. So, yeah, I feel like they do a really good job of making you feel like you've just burrowed all the way down into the earth or sitting in this big giant tree. When you see a huge flick right above your head, it's really kind of easy to buy into that. And the action just happens all on stage right in front of you. Like when things happen in the theater, you see and you literally feel all the bugs around you while you're immersed in that world. So it's tough to be a bug when it's around for me.
Yeah, nice. There you go. I'm going to say the exact same thing. We're on the same page so far with that.
Get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got 1 for Tough to Be Bug, and then 2 for MuppetVision 3D, and then 3rd is Mickey's Philharmagic. The theming and immersion, yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's no doubt what you're going into. You're going at the bottom of the tree. You got the roots. You got even the coloring all over the place. It's what you would expect if you were to go underground and to see all this stuff. And then, even when you have like the little curtain made out of the moths or butterflies, whatever, and they have the little cute guys, adorable. It just, all of that is just great, plus the animatronics, they have that pop out. And, even with the spotlights that happen,
the fireflies.
The fireflies, and they have in the way that they interact and move, it's all part of that theming and how well it immerses you into the stuff. So I think it does a really great a job of doing that. Yeah, MuppetVision 3D, it really great theater. Granted, sometimes the stuff doesn't work, because a lot of the effects are great, but it's very expansive. It's very huge. Yeah, for some reason when I was little, I never thought of the theater being that big for MuppetVision. So it's not like we're watching a Muppet show. It's something a little different. And there's an aspect of MuppetVision's show that bothers me, which I'll talk about in the overall experience. But yeah, that's why I had it ranked in such a way.
Can I ask you this, and maybe I can, everyone can chime in on this. Did y'all feel the same way that I did when you first saw this ride or attraction?
MuppetVision?
MuppetVision.
Okay.
When you stepped into the theater, did you realize you were going to step inside the Muppet Theater the first time you did it?
I didn't realize.
No, I didn't either. And it's like, whoa, I didn't think this is what we were doing. I thought the Muppets had a lab and we were going to go and make 3D. So I was kind of surprised by that. So it was a pleasant surprise, but yeah, it just kind of, it is a little disjointed.
Yeah, it's weird. All right. E?
Damn, no, that kind of made me think.
Convinced you?
I know, it was good.
Yeah, I didn't think about what you had to go into for it Tough to Be a Bug. That one it's still a tough one for me, but I just took it from once I went into the theater, at least with that one, as far as like what I was the most caught up into. And I would have to say that it was tough for me between Tough to Be a Bug and Philharmagic, because Tough to Be a Bug just gets you right up into the end. And Philharmagic kind of does the same thing, but you gotta know where to look to see the duck butt to keep the story going.
Yeah, because that's why I think I missed that duck butt. Maybe the first 1 or 2 times that I saw that thing, I didn't realize. Thought to look around.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I should have known better, because like in MuppetVision 3D, of course, like the can comes out.
It happens, and then Muppets, like you said, they kept the characters as they were. You're good, but once they throw in these other characters, and you're like, I don't get them. It kind of takes you out of it, but I would have to say Muppets and then Philharmagic and then Tough to Be a Bug, only because the tail end when the bugs run across the bitch.
Oh, you're putting Tough to Be a Bug at 3?
No, I'm sorry. That's right. The other way around.
Oh, so MuppetVision 3
is last.
Yeah.
And then Tough to Be a Bug is...
No, Philharmagic is second.
Oh, Philharmagic's second. Okay.
Bug is first.
Okay, cool. Rachel?
All right. Well, some of my rankings, I think, are going to be... I don't know if they're tainted by this, but the first time I did Tough to Be a Bug was at Disneyland. And I don't know if you remember the Disneyland one.
I do.
But it was not, like, the theming wasn't very good. You just kind of, like, walked in. I don't know. There wasn't much. It was, like, just a 3D movie.
Right.
And I don't know that the movie experience on its own, without like a lot of that, the things that you all have just been talking about, is, stands up. Maybe we'll get to that in a minute for me. But so I think that my like impression of that show is a little bit lower, just because the first time I saw it didn't have all those things that you were just talking about. So I had MuppetVision as my number one. I actually went to MuppetVision one time recently where none of the sound worked at all.
Whoa.
It was weird. Yeah, they gave us a fast pass, which was very nice. But and this was it was like just after they reopened in 2021, I think, like June 2021. Anyway, so the sound didn't work at all. They gave us a fast pass, which was great because there was no fast passes at that point. So it was like, you were really through that lightning lane. But what was cool about that was I discovered which of the elements are not recorded. So the cymbal in the Penguin band is real. Like that's a real cymbal.
No way.
Like they do. Yeah, it's a mechanical thing, obviously, but
that's cool.
So we got to watch the whole thing, and like Statler and Waldorf were moving around and doing their thing, but just the cymbal was the only thing that worked.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, that was fun. I don't know that that's really relevant to this conversation, but I put MuppetVision as my number one.
That is a fun fact. The cymbal is actually being used as a cymbal.
Yes, it is. I loved that they had Statler and Waldorf up in the box. I thought that was cool. I remember being a kid and thinking, because I went for the first time as a kid, thinking that was just really neat that they were like in the theater with us. So I put that one as my number one. Tough to Be a Bug as 2.
Okay.
And then Philharmagic as 3.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, theme and immersion. Bug takes it. Tough to Be a Bug takes it. However, now we have a tie for first in overall totals between MuppetVision 3D and Tough to Be a Bug, and Philharmagic is a strong third right now. So yeah, MuppetVision 3D and the Bug is 14 apiece, with Philharmagic a distant at 26.
26.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So there we go. So we got 3 more categories left to go. This time we're talking about overall experience in this attraction. How would you rank these?
Once again, not an easy category. All 3 are very engaging, entertaining, even surprising at times. But since we're nitpicking, of the 3, I find Philharmagic to be the most even keel, if you will, of the attractions. It's a fun ride. The 3D effects are great. You get your smells, your water splashes and whatnot, but that's about it. Nothing all that unexpected happens. Nothing all that different or unique. Just a smooth, pleasant, easygoing ride. It's kind of like the people mover of 3D movie shows.
Right.
Whereas I feel like with MuppetVision 3D, and it's Tough to Be a Bug, you're just on your edge of your seat the entire time wondering what's coming next. Both are funny, they're engaging, lighthearted at times, shocking at others. They just run you through so many more emotions than Philharmagic does. Again, tough, but for second place, I'm going to go with It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Second place, you said?
Yeah, second place, I'm going to go to It's Tough to Be a Bug. It provides so much more. You get sprayed with acid. Spiders drop from the ceiling. There's an amazing hopper animatronic. You got the bugs crawling underneath your butt. Wasp poking you from behind. It goes from funny to intense, but then back to funny again. But it can be incredibly scary for the kids, a bit unnerving for the adults. I mean, it's kind of hard to get in the spirit of things when your kid's clinging to your shirt for dear life, screaming, "I don't like this, Daddy. I don't like this." Also, they're bugs, and it's kind of hard to get excited about seeing bugs. But meanwhile, MuppetVision 3D just has it all. Same effects that you get, but you get bubbles now. And then the characters are a little bit more endearing. The animatronics, Statler and Waldorf, are great. As we said before, it's easily the funniest of the attractions, 3D or otherwise. Again, dare you show me a funnier attraction than MuppetVision 3D. When Sweetum comes out that first time, that just blows your mind. My jaw hit the floor.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, there's Sweetum's like right in front of you. You never expected to see anything like that. And then they close out the show with blowing up the freaking theater. I mean, you're walking out, there's rubble everywhere. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing. So to me, MuppetVision 3 is just a whole package. It's definitely the most engaging 3D movie, and it does it on multiple levels. So that's what I'm going to go with.
I like it. So yeah, Philharmagic is still number 3 for me. Okay. It hasn't won this category yet. Maybe it will eventually. I do appreciate the aspect of music and there's an orchestra stuff, but it gives me the same kind of experience as like Magic Journeys, if you remember that one. It's just another show. It's a cool show, and they do have duck butt, and I appreciate that, but that's about it. Whereas the other 2, for me, they're a little bit more difficult to judge because they're very nuanced. All the stuff when it's working, it's great, and it's a wonderful experience. It continues the story. Yes, Tough to Be a Bug runs you through a gamut of emotions as you're going through it, but from every little bit, every little second, you're underground. You're dealing with bugs, even the ones that poke you in the back as well as tickle you in the butt. And all that stuff is just, it's a bug. It's a bug. So these two, MuppetVision and Bug, were close to me, but the thing that separated, and I actually put MuppetVision 2, Bug 1 for this one. And the thing that's especially that for some reason I just can't get over is the double Sweetums toward the end. When Sweetums comes out in the theater and then you see Sweetums in the back of the blown out theater, I'm like, wait. That kind of just zips me out. I'm like, oh, this is so cool, but wait. Do you have a brother? Are you twins? What's going on here? Like somebody missed a detail there for a second.
I never even noticed that until the internet. Like I saw that on the internet one day, but I'm like, oh, really? And yeah, sure enough.
Yeah, I could have sworn at one point the guy in the theater ran off before so I figured, he must have just ran out to see what was going on. So because I never really noticed until a little bit later. I'm like, even before the internet stuff. But then I'm like, wait, why is he still here? I thought he was supposed to disappear, and then I just assumed he just ran outside the theater to look at what's going on, and it's like a hole. But no, for some reason, I don't know. Maybe something changed. I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but that throws me that's very nitpicky as you say. But that was enough to kind of put that, because I didn't even that toward the end with Bug and wait for the little grubs and critters to leave before you leave.
Yeah,
they get you.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it's hilarious, and that thing reminds me of like if Honey I Shrunk the Audience was still around and the mice were tickling people's legs.
Yes,
that you got freak people. That freaked me out the first time I experienced.
I would have
that.
loved it if we could have included that in here as well.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but alas, it's gone. But yeah, that's what the little grubs remind me. So yeah, I had to put Bug ahead just by a little bit in this case.
I get that. I totally get that.
Alrighty,
Yeah, I don't. This was tough as well because it was
to be a bug.
Yeah, it's very tough to be a bug. It's because the parameters of this one is a little different. Well, for me, and that's mainly because I like like the 2D kind of animation of Philharmagic. Like that's. I mean, I know we're gonna get to another segment. This will probably hit it more, but I always just like to see how it's done, how it's drawn, and just the effect of that. But that's what I love about it, but yeah, at the same time, you kind of have to be objective, and that's really tough when you love this, right? Like I do, but you got things that are talking to the other two that are talking like to the screen. They're talking to you. They're talking to another figure that's off there, and the lights. And so these are things where you have to go a couple of times just to appreciate the full experience of it. And so in that case, I do have to put Philharmagic last, but the Muppets and Tough to Be a Bug, that they're just so what
No,
it's tough. That's a tough one. Yeah,
and so the only thing that I really could put it on was being familiar with the characters more so than anything. Not that I have anything against bugs, but I mean, I didn't like to be sprayed with rain, but that was a good effect. But but yeah, it's the thing of hearing these characters that you're seeing on the screen. Next thing you know, they're popping up in a balcony, they're talking, they're running around. I'm talking about as far as Muppets, and then like you're getting told a joke once you come in from Statler Warnoff, and like I always enjoy that as well. And so there's a lot of interaction in that. So I would have to put Muppets first.
Muppets first.
Yeah.
All right, right on, man.
I really took this one as like the one I enjoy the most. And for me, that's Philharmagic.
Nice.
I gave that one number one. Philharmagic was the best for me. Have you done the new version?
with Coco.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's great.
Yeah. I love the Coco edition. And then for me, it's like greatest hits. Like it's all my favorites. I love the smells. I don't think do the other two have smells?
I don't.
The bug does.
Yeah,
Bug just smells.
Bug does.
Clear the room. The stink bug. Yes.
The stink bugs, right.
It used to be worse. I remember.
100%.
I think they tamed
it was
it.
very strong.
I think they tamed it too.
I don't remember MuppetVision having that.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So it has the smells and it has the water, and I just love the like Goofy with your Opry glasses, and the whole package for me is I just enjoy that ride a lot. I really enjoy it. They did like digitize it I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
Like,
did.
it looks really good now.
does.
So I like that about it too.
That's a good point you make about the glasses, because it's opera glasses. That makes sense.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
whereas you're
it's
dealing
cute.
with bug eyes and I don't know what they call it. I guess 3D glasses.
Yeah, it's
So,
just 3D, like, 'cause they're doing the experiment
Nothing-
for,
yeah.
Muppets in 3D kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I like that a lot. And I do think it's the most updated out of all of them. And so I like that part of it too. So I gave that one number 1. And then I put MuppetVision 3D number 2 and Tough to Be a Bug number 3.
All right.
Nice.
All right. Very well done. Yeah, no, I can see that. And there's going to be some of your points I think it's going to hold true for me in a different category. It's great.
All right, so where we're standing, overall experience, it looks like MuppetVision 3D takes that one only by 2 points. Bug was only 2 points behind. And then overall totals, MuppetVision pulled away a little bit with 19. And then Tough to Be Bug has 23. So yeah, anything can happen. We still got 2 more categories to go. And that is story. Overall story.
Yeah, so again, another difficult one. I'm going to start again with number 3 on the list. And this might somewhat surprise me. I'm going to put MuppetVision 3D last on story.
Really?
Yeah. I think the story works. But like most things Muppet related, it's not really meant to tell a cohesive story. It's more of a collection of zany events that loosely come together. First, we're going to see a performance of The Muppet Show, but really, we're going to tour of Muppet Labs. But then here out pops Waldo, and now he kind of takes over for a bit, but then Bean Bunny runs away. And now we're focused on trying to find him, and then we get a small world-centric finale that leads to a gunfight, and everything blows up. It's a
Sounds
little
like Muppets.
all over the place. Yeah, so I mean, it fits Muppets, but is that the best story told of the 3? They all have good stories, I think. I look at Muppets more as like an awesome experience, just not much of a story that holds one cohesive line all the way through. For number 2, I'm going to go with Philharmagic, because the story is very simplistic, it's very basic, but it connects every scene together into one cohesive story very easily. Donald lost Mickey's hat. Needs to get it back. Children can easily follow along with why what's happening is happening, and they're even rooting for Donald because they understand his plight.
And then you go out into the hat store.
Yes. And
Yes.
then right into a hat store. So hats are important, especially in the heat. But what makes it Tough to Be a Bug number 1 for me is that the story is right there in the title of the attraction. It's tough to be a bug. They tell you right away what it is you're in for. Humans don't really think much of bugs. So we're going to show you why we're so special. And it becomes sort of a talent show. Then you go from seeing it from the bugs who are trying to help humans come along to the other side where there are bugs who are kind of resentful for the way humans have been treating them, and they want to wage war. It's kind of like Magneto versus the X-Men. There's one group of bugs that want to live in harmony with humans. There's another ones that want to conquer them. It's crazy. So it gets pretty deep, and then you get that finale where they sing "It's Tough to Be a Bug," and they really kind of hammer home the message that, without bugs, life for us would be pretty.
They're pollinators.
Yeah,
Pollinators.
great message, and an even better job conveying it, I thought.
Yeah. So yeah, I also put MuppetVision 3D as my number 3.
Oh, good.
The story wise is not. I'm not going to say it's all over the place, because you get Bean Bunny and the 3D dude just having their little antics together. But as far as overall story, I didn't feel like there was a cohesive one. It's very Muppets-y, but it wasn't Muppet Show like.
Right.
Kind of taking it to the theater. Oddly enough, I put Tough to Be Bug number 2 in this case, only because it sets up what's to be like a cabaret show, which is what it initially starts out as. And usually cabaret shows are just kind of a bunch of different types of acts, a bunch of different stories that happen. And that's what you get. You get like a guy that shoots darts with awesome precision. And then you have the little dung people or whatever. I forget what all the other acts were exactly. But then you get like somebody interrupts the show.
Chili, throwing
Spikes and all that. And the poison dude, the little
Terminator.
termite guy. So it's like like a variety show act. So there's usually in those things, there's not really much of a cohesive story. Now, to be fair, Tough to Be Bug, Philharmagic are kind of the same as far as like there's a bunch of different acts, but at least with Philharmagic, and that was my one, is it has that little thread, very thin thread of that, Donald's looking for his hat. And in every scene, there's Donald trying to go after the hat, and that kind of stuff. So at least that kind of ties the whole deal together. It's the Philharmagic. The Philharmagic being, you got the Philharmonic Orchestra that he attempts to conduct that just kind of turns on him. And then the magic part where it's like, okay, this is not a normal concert. And then toward the end, Mickey takes control of the hat and he's able to control the instruments and then, relax it all. So it's that kind of thing. And then we end with Duck Butt in the hat shop.
God, I love the Duck Butt.
For those two, like I said, Bug and Philharmagic, yeah, both kind of variety show type stuff because it's like a greatest hits on either or a bunch of different stories. But at least Philharmagic had that one little skinny thread that kind of ties it a little bit all together. So that's how I had them ranked.
Yeah, originally I kind of had it the exact same way, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I just kind of felt like Tough to Be a Bug was a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
The messaging was deeper. That's the only thing that made it tip the scale. But that's how close all this is. It's one little thing that sticks in your mind. You're like, I'm going to go with that. And watch. Wake up tomorrow and you'll think of something else and go back the other way.
Yeah, absolutely.
E?
Yeah, this one was kind of like along the same route. Like MuppetVision, I just kind of thought of it as a series of skits, and then by the time they start to give you a piece of story, it's kind of like midway towards the show. Tough to Be a Bug. I just thought of it more like edutainment,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I think that's
right. So you're just learning about stuff, and yeah, each one has its own story, but it's kind of like, yeah, here's what we got. Check this guy out. It's like a talent show or some sort.
I like that. It's edutainment. I like that.
Yeah, and so yeah, I just went with Philharmagic first for that because, like you said, the story it's straightforward. You can't miss it, but each part of it has its own transition to it. Like so, whenever one of the when he's. My personal favorite is always when he's like messing with the broomsticks, and it's the one, and then like the big bad one comes in and just tosses all that water on him. So there's always some transition going forward with all the different characters that he interacts with. Donald, that is, and then of course, yes, you get Duck Butt at the end. I mean, that should just put it over the top right there, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, that's just the most straightforward, I think, storytelling thing out of the three to go with.
Okay. Since you mentioned Duck Butt, and we know you're Eli and you enjoy that piece.
Yes.
And Rachel, maybe you can help me. But have you seen that pictures of that sipper? I think it's out in Disneyland. Is that right, Rachel? With Donald? Did I send you that?
Yes, you sent me that. Yes.
How you like that?
I love it. Remember you gave me a set of things to put on my head too. That was
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot
little
about that.
feet.
Yeah, the little feet.
The little
that
feet.
thing's awesome. We need to get you that sipper.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to do that.
It's small. It looks small to me.
It does. Yeah, I think so too. But it could be fun. It'd be nice if you drank it and the little legs are going.
Just trying to go away from you.
Yeah, he's trying to swim further into the drink.
It's like, come here.
Yeah. All right, Rachel, what you got for story?
I put Philharmagic first.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that story. I think it's great. I really enjoy it. And then I put Tough to Be a Bug second because I think that it does tell a cohesive story for sure. And then MuppetVision 3D at the bottom. MuppetVision 3D is more of a variety show, right? And variety shows don't really have stories. I guess that's kind of their shtick anyway. But yeah, those were my rankings for a lot of the same reasons y'all just said.
Wow, so Philharmagic really rebounded, I think, on this category.
It's coming, yeah. So here's where you're at. As far as story, Philharmagic took first in that category with Bug. It had 5 points. Bug had the next second highest points with 7. And then MuppetVision 3D was a little distant at 12. And then so now overall totals, we're getting close here. Could be interesting. Okay. We have Tough to Be a Bug in first place with 31. But MuppetVision 3D is very close with 32. And Philharmagic is not as far as it has been at 39.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So it could go anywhere. Yeah, could be
think
interesting.
This category is going to be the make or break category.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. All right, so here we go with repeatability. Repeatability, where we're at.
Whew. All right. Every one of these are must-dos for me. Every single time. I love the 3D movie. I've bemoaned the fact that we don't do this anymore. I don't know why we don't do this anymore. It's great storytelling. So much you can do with these 3D movies. Again, nitpicking. Because of the scary element and there not being a whole lot of relatable characters that audiences would like to encounter, say, in a Disney theme park, I'm going to put Tough to Be a Bug last, okay? I love it as an attraction. Again, it's something that I have to do every time we're there, but the other two attractions are just way more lighthearted, fun, and a bit more magical, if you will. In second place, I'm going to put, to my surprise, MuppetVision 3D.
Okay.
Again, must do. Probably my favorite attraction in Hollywood Studios.
Ooh, that's high praise.
Oh, it is. It's just, it's Jim Henson, it's Frank Oz, it's all the original Muppet performers, Richard Hunt. It's so good to hear it every single time I go there. Like when they're like, let's change we'll just make a new Muppets one. It's like, you don't realize the history you're going to lose out on when you do that. That's like cutting out Walt and putting in Bob Iger as the voice of Mickey. I don't know.
That would be funny.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right to cut Jim Henson out of Jim Henson's whatever.
Right.
Anyway, it's going to go second just because the 3D it's not as good as Philharmagic, and the focus on Waldo and Bean Bunny kind of takes away from the enjoyment of it a little bit. Philharmagic is just a quintessential Disney attraction. It really is. It just hits on so many Disney characters that you want to see, including those you've never even seen in CGI before. I mean, you've never seen Ariel in CGI. I don't remember that until I saw it in Philharmagic. Flounder, all that. It's a relaxing ride, so you don't have to worry about the kids getting freaked out or anything like that. Or the kids being like, Mommy, who's the green dude talking to Kermit the Frog? Who's Kermit the Frog? Like, they know everybody in there. And you get some of the Fab Five as well. You get Mickey's there. I mean, briefly, but he's there. Donald's all throughout the thing. You hear Minnie and Goofy off stage. The whole thing where Goofy's walking around as he's talking, and it's you can follow his movement basically. It's kind of crazy. I mean, this the music, the mood, the vibe. It's all chill. It's perfect for a hot, crowded day at the Magic Kingdom, and it's just something that people of all ages can do over and over and over and over and over again. So yeah, I love it. It's the greatest hits of everything that you love about Disney. So why not do it over and over again?
Absolutely. I have very similar rankings. Tough to Be Book for me is my third, and the reason being purely, I mean, I like the story. I do enjoy it, but it just, it's so far removed from the main pathway for me. And it's like, do I want to walk all the way to go see it? I like the attraction, but I don't know if I want to do that. Whereas the other two, MuppetVision 3D and Philharmagic, it's right there. You enter, you're in the queue, you're good to go. I mean, yes, you are in the queue, but the queue even is a bit long. It is stretched, and it could be hot. The other two are enclosed or inside, and so depending on when you go, that makes a difference for me. So that leaves MuppetVision 3D, Philharmagic, and as far as repeatability goes, I had to pick one, and I picked MuppetVision 3D as my number two, because it's almost like a point. It's like, all right, let's see if they fix the stuff that was been broken, and most of the stuff that's been broken is usually the exploded theater. Like sometimes the lights don't work, and it kind of ruins the effect. Or let's see what's happening. Hopefully they kept it restored. And then sometimes it's like, oh man, they should have done something. They should have fixed that. It kind of ruined. People don't know, and like sometimes the bubbles don't even work. It's like, oh man, that was such a cool effect.
I know.
And then sometimes the fans don't blow hard enough, so you can't get the effect of the vacuum.
Yeah.
And I remember they used to blow, and you're like, oh, it's a vacuum. But I'll lose it now. But I put Philharmagic as my number one because they're updating it. Yes, it's to be fair, it's very easy to update because it is a digital movie. But I mean, they threw Coco in there most recently, so yeah, I'm gonna go back and see it just to check that out. Yeah, just for the sheer fact that they are updating Philharmagic means that they recognize it's pretty popular and it's very easy to get into, and it's there's always something new. And yeah, you do get some of the Fab Five and their natural Fab Five-ness. I love the music, not to be biased or anything, but I do enjoy that. So. Yeah, that's my number one as far as repeatability, for sure. Unless it's like a super long line and I see it outside the door.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I'll skip it.
Sure.
Because sometimes it's just like, that sucker's packed. I'm like, okay, I'll wait. I'll come back maybe another day. But yeah, that would be my number one.
I love going to when I go to Disney and I'm with somebody who's never been there before and you're trying to show them around. The 3D movies are a godsend.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're all so great, and they just all walk on attractions for the most part, even on a busy day. And so even when people are like, we're not going to see anything, it's like, no, come see this. And they walk out of there so happy.
Especially at 1 p.m. in July and August.
Yes.
So and refreshed. And refreshed, yes.
So these rankings are about ready to get really interesting.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
This can go any way. All righty.
Oh man, I like all three.
Yes. Yeah. You repeat all of them.
Yeah, I would.
I agree.
But it's about the criteria is the key, right? So I would take Tough to Be a Bug and make that one last. Only because whenever I've gone on it, it's fun, but I don't really think to go to it every time. like you said, it's a different path. But if I was with someone that had never been on it, I would make sure that's one of the first things I would do with them in Animal Kingdom.
One of the best first-time attractions to watch the person you're with.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Especially at the end.
Exactly. Like stay here,
Yeah.
stay here. And then, they always freak out. And that's fun. Yeah, but I wouldn't.
That always makes me laugh.
But that's only, again, right, if someone else who's never been to the attraction, I would say, yeah, we have to go. So then, yeah, that brings me to Muppets second. But I'm mainly because I'm familiar with the characters, and it's just cool to see them on the screen. But really, like, Philharmagic has always captivated me. That's why I would make that one my number one. Like, ever since I first went to it, and as an artist, I really appreciate the level of like depth that they really went with, how they do like the shots where you Aladdin is always my personal favorite. I mean, Jasmine did it too, but that's always my personal favorite one because they're on the carpet's flying like around the whole.
You got that little breeze.
Yeah, and then he goes off and then he's trying to like fly back and they got this like thing like Peter Pan. That's another one where they pull back and you just see how vast the city is, and he's just like. They got this camera view. Like every time I've seen it, it just as an artist, it inspires me visually more. So that makes me always like to go see it. And it's in a fun area in general. Like you can try.
Fantasyland?
Yeah, you can't help but to go grab it.
The guy who kicked Aladdin out of the picture so he could take it alone with Jasmine. Like, seriously, we went, I don't know if you ever heard this.
No.
We went to a meet and greet, and there was Aladdin and Jasmine. And so he went up. And he's like, no, you wait over there. He talked to Aladdin. And he and Jasmine took the picture alone. And you gave Aladdin first preference. You're like, Aladdin was my favorite part. Yeah, it's Jasmine too, but Aladdin.
No, I'm saying that Aladdin, the guy.
The Aladdin
the
scene?
scene.
The scene.
Oh, the Aladdin
Yeah,
scene.
the Aladdin
Okay.
scene.
Okay,
I
okay.
apologize. Yeah,
So you're saying despite the fact that Jasmine's there,
it
you like
helps
the
that
entire
Jasmine's
scene.
in it,
Yeah.
but visually,
That's
yes,
like,
I like that
icing.
that scenario.
I think Donald kicks Aladdin out too, right? And then
Oh,
he
yeah.
rides
Yes.
the carpet with Jasmine alone for a little while. I
Yes.
think he does.
Yeah, didn't he get a little kiss?
Yeah,
I think he does,
He does.
yeah.
He does. He does.
Oh, there you go. You want to be Donald.
Well, yes, and then you get your duck butt at the end.
Yes.
So right there.
Yes.
Philharmagic making a surge, man. This is going to get tight. It's going to be a real
I
tight.
know.
It's so funny that It's Tough to Be a Bug was in first place, but has gotten no first place votes thus far.
Thus far, yeah.
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 All right, Rachel, bring it home.
Yeah. So I just tried to think about the things that I repeat the most when we're there. Like truly, what do we do? Tough to Be a Bug. I'm actually not sure we've ever taken the kids.
Interesting.
Probably smart.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Probably smart.
I do remember one time we went back there because you remember like back in the day when you had 3 fast passes for the day, but you couldn't make your afternoon fast passes at a different park until you used your first 3.
Yeah. Free to 3. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we would use Tough to Be a Bug to like release the afternoon of fast passes. I think that was the only reason we went back there was to like buzz in for the fast pass and leave. So yeah, that one was number 3 for me. Least repeatable.
So Tough to Be Bug number 3. Got it.
Very consistent.
Yeah, I think
across the
I've
board.
even only maybe done it 3 times total ever.
Really?
Including Disneyland. Yeah, I think I've only done it 3 times. Then MuppetVision 3D is my number 2. It's fun. For me, I watched Muppet Babies as a kid.
now we're talking.
I love Muppet
Yes.
Babies.
Love that show.
I watched Muppet Babies, but I did not watch the Muppets that much. Like that property, I'm not super familiar with. Like I watched Muppet Christmas Carol and I think that's it. Muppets Christmas Carol. I think that's like the only plus Muppet Babies. Anyway, so I don't have a lot of personal connection to the Muppets, but then my kids have like 0 connection to the Muppets.
Yeah, that's a kind of a problem.
Yeah, so they don't really, not that they don't want to go in, like we've gone in multiple times and seen it, but they don't love it. But Philharmagic, they do love, and they recognize all those characters, and it's a great, I know we've talked about it, it's a great air conditioning break. It's right in Fantasyland. There are so many times we're visiting the Magic Kingdom and we're hot and we're overtired and the lines are all long, and Philharmagic is like the best way to go. Yeah, so that's my ranking. So Tough to Be a Bug 3, Muppets 2, Philharmagic 1.
Kind of speaks to how much Disney's mismanaged the Muppets.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Well, yeah, here we go. We're at the end of our quest, and so now it's time to see who
Is the
comes out on
best.
top. Yeah. And so just to remind the listeners, we're using golf scores. So because we're ranking our top choices for each category as number one, and then the third, and so on and so forth, as you just heard. So the attraction with the lowest score comes out on top.
All right. So we start with 3 and work our way up to 1?
Yes, sir. So the third place winner is Mickey's Philharmagic.
Really?
At 42 points, yes.
Even after that late surge, all of us put it number 1.
Even after the late surge, it's still number 3, but not by much, though.
Okay. So what's its score?
Yeah, it's 42.
42.
Yep.
Okay.
And then 2 points behind that is a Tough to Be a Bug at 40.
Okay.
And 2 points behind that was MuppetVision 3D at number 1 at 38.
All right.
Oh, my.
So boom, boom, boom. There you go. That's how our scoring came out for this one.
I think that Q thing killed it.
Yeah.
I
Q
think
thing
so.
did, but I mean, the repeatability, it scored way through the roof on.
Oh, it did, yeah. Repeatability in that category alone, Philharmagic, it was at 4 points, and then the nearest closest with 8 with MuppetVision 3D, and then Bug was at 12. So, yeah, Philharmagic won repeatability, won story, and then it lost the other 3 categories.
That Q does stink, though.
It does.
Yeah.
Not literally, but just the theming is not great. You think about the queue that they've done for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway out in California. That looks so cool with the theater theming. It'd be cool if they could do something like that and like theme it to a theater. That would be really neat, like a Disney themed theater.
That would be neat.
That'd be great. Let me ask you this, because this is something I thought about throwing out there as a topic, but I was like, not a topic, what do you call it? As a category. But I thought it'd be a little bit fun to ask this afterwards. Which of these attractions has the best finale? So you got Mickey's Philharmagic Duck Butt. You've got the cockroaches and maggots and grubs and everything like that running across your backside, exiting the theater, and It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Oof.
That's another one that gets people like, whoa. And then lastly, the Muppet Theater being blown to smithereens before your very eyes. And all the rubble and the chunks of the wall missing and whatnot. What do you think makes the best finale?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a very tough one.
I'm going to have to go with Duck Butt.
Yeah, I love a duck butt.
You know what's cute about the duck butt is like eventually he falls through. He makes it. He's trying to get out, and eventually you see his butt disappear.
And
It's
his
like he
feet,
makes it.
Yeah.
It's like, uh-oh.
But you have to look for it. That's the
It's not that
Well, it's the same thing with MuppetVision 3D too.
Yeah.
Like usually I'll spur it on, and when things are happening behind us, and I'll look, and then people will say, "What the hell are you looking at?" And then they'll start looking and realize, there's a
Swedish
gun
Chef,
back there, and there's a cannon back there. But yeah, no, I totally understand about that.
Yeah, the first time you get hit with those maggots and cockroaches and they're all leaving the theater, you're like, oh, and it's surprising, and you're like, I don't like that. But then you go a second time, and after that, you're cool with it. Like, because, I understand it's coming.
You just accept it.
Yeah, you just accept it, and you're like, oh, okay, this is going to be fun. This is going to be funny. I can't wait to look. Like, when I'm sitting there, I'm peeking around for people who are unaware.
I know, I like to do that, yeah.
The smallest of children is usually the best one to get your eye on. Those are the ones that have not been hauled out of the theater screaming when the spiders fell. But if you can find a child that's still in their seat when that part happens, it's funny. But yeah, it's like, it's cool, but you're like, I don't really like that. The theater being blown up is cool, but you don't even really notice that the theater's been blown up until you're walking out. That duck butt is just magnificent.
Yeah, because he had the sound. He's still going there. He's working on it.
Uh-oh.
No, that's a good ending. Yeah. Well, cool. There we go.
There it is.
There's our quest for the best. It's been a while. We should do some more of these. These are fun.
Yes, they are.
I like that. Maybe we do the quest for the best pre-show movie.
It's hard to find ride systems like that. I mean, you don't want to go where you have too many of the exact same type of thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah.
Okay, guys, let us know what you think about how our rankings came out. Did your scoring come out similar to what we did, or did you have something completely different? We would love to know and hear about your reasons for why you made those decisions. And we're going to tell you how to do that and get in touch with us in just a little bit. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. Look, if you want to learn more about us, go to magicourway.com. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more. Also, as I mentioned, you can get in touch with us to share your opinions about your decisions on any of those categories, and you can do it through the following ways. First, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com, or you can call or send us a text message at 1-815-MOWEEKEND at 1-815
Mo Weekend
669-4226. And of course, we have a couple people do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli, does things with comics. Eli.
Yeah. Yes, sir. You can always visit my website, www.ivorycomics.com. And I appreciate you taking a look at that piece of web space I got where you can see the comics that I have fully colored. There's only an ad for the Magic Our Way podcast, so it's like you're getting 2 issues in one. So there's Savages, The Molly Be Damned, and of course Project Geisha. There's also a link to this podcast so you never miss a beat, a joke, an insight, a quest. That's how Synergy works, and that's what we do here. So yes, please visit www.ivorycomics.com. On Facebook, you can find me there, Eli H. Ivory. As long as you're a real person, it's lovely to meet you. But if you're a bot, don't even need to greet you. I ain't trying to get all my family to turn on me because apparently some bot told them I was going to the next 35th family reunion, and I don't know him like that. But anyway, yes.
Trying to follow that one along.
There you go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Then everybody's like, "Oh, look, yeah. I'm going to take your invitation." I didn't send you any invitation to a family reunion. You know,
Oh, the bot's inviting your family to a reunion?
Wow.
Yeah, you got to
Is
watch
that
out
what's
with that.
up?
Okay.
Watch out with that, man. I'm telling you.
Interesting.
Also on Facebook, there's a page for Project Geisha. So facebook.com/Project Geisha. Instagram, I'm there as well, EIV504. And of course, on Twitter, I can be found at Hancock10166. So if you appreciate the madness, then you're bringing me the gladness. Thank you very much.
And of course, you could book a vacation to Rachel to see all of these 3D experiences. Rachel, how can they do this with you?
Yeah, I would love to help you book a trip. I book all kinds of destinations, not just Disney, also Universal, Royal Caribbean. I can get you hooked up with some all-inclusives, whatever you're looking for, but definitely Disney as well. And the best part is that there is no extra cost to you. So same price, but you get my help as much or as little as you'd like, and you help support the podcast, which we really appreciate. So you can find me at rachel@magicourway.com. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at our Family Magic, and that's the letter R, Family Magic, all one word. And I do also have a phone number. And so if you want to text me, you can there. It is 978-432-WISH, WISH. And I would love to help you book.
And guys, look, there's so many ways to support the show as a whole. You can find them all on our website, magicourway.com. Plus, if you want to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast, go to patreon.com/magicourway. There you'll find 6 awesome tiers to support this show. Any way in which you could support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome in the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, Mohegans, we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
And yar. Bye.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libation.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff, and this is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. For this show, we go on a quest for the best. Oh, I'm sorry. The ice machine just went nuts.
You ice machine.
Eli had to look like a velociraptor was behind him or something.
I was like, what is that?
I
I
heard
was
it.
like, at the same time, somebody flushed upstairs, and our water main must be right here behind this column. Anyway, I was like, "Oh, what is that water noise?" And then you guys stopped. I was like, "Wait, maybe it's on their side." Anyway.
It was our ice machine right over here.
Yeah.
When it refills, it makes this horrible, horrible sound.
Okay.
So
Which is weird. I tried not to laugh and push through it, but I couldn't help it.